Welcome everybody. This is Bobby the Solution Artist, Bobby F. Parihar. Absolutely blessed and extraordinarily grateful to be here with you guys. The last couple of days or weeks, let's just say days, because it's been getting intense. I've had friends of mine, clients that have turned into friends, people that inspire me, people that I inspire, people that I work with. A few people have been coming up and they've been like, "Yo, man, where's my results?" And I feel like it's like almost as if like I've sold you something, inside of our conversation that in our alignment that was you're supposed to change your name, and then suddenly everything just blows up open for you, and you become this master level of success. And unfortunately, it doesn't work exactly like that. But it's been happening so many times that I'm like, you know what? I either need to copy and paste these messages, or I need to do a broadcast and go live and explain to you guys a couple of really cool things that I hope are going to be extremely insightful and very powerful, and that certain, je ne sais quoi, that, you get right at this moment, this turn of the tide, and this part of the fight that we're going through, to help us get to a better place collectively as a group. So I'm excited. Let's have some fun today. Usually when I go live these days, I'm doing what's your number, what's your birthday, or check out my this, or whatever it is. This is going to be some straight up training. Okay, so hey Angelique, what's up? How's it going? Lori, Lexi, Karen, how you guys doing? Welcome. Yeah, so you changed your name, nothing happened. We're like, what am I waiting for? Things are supposed to unfold. I'm still going through a challenge. Things have gotten more tough. I've taken a new vibration, and now things I'm dealing with even more stuff. Is there a way that this is going to unfold? Is there something more that's going to happen? Can I take this to the next level? And I'd like to think that there's a combination effect here, and we have to create an overwhelming momentum, a tide, a movement of force that's working into your advantage, working into your favor. So when we get a chance to work together or do something together, we're setting the stage. We are taking the safety off. We're unlimiting the speed. We're, putting the pieces back into the right order. We're reconciling the past. There's so much going on. And I was saying this to a friend of mine. I'm like, it depends. I don't know what you've been going through. I don't know what you've experienced over the last how many decades on the planet you've been on the planet. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about when I say that this name is going to be powerful, or this name is going to be extraordinary, or there's something different that's going to happen. It's going to allow you to step into the unknown. Now, you've got a whole list of things that have been happening inside of your world. I get it. That's just life. We have to deal with it. We've done the best that we could. It still wasn't enough. We decided to become entrepreneurs. Now we have a new learning curve. The bills are coming in, and we have to figure stuff out, and, the debt collectors and all of this stuff, and, failing marriage, or my kids don't listen to me, or, all of this stuff is happening. I've got an issue with my parents or my family, or so-and-so doesn't believe in me, or I've self-worth, self-belief. We've adopted things that no longer serve us, or ideas from other people that now we identify as pieces of ourselves. And that's a challenge, because now we've created a mountain of stuff to get over, and I've just given you the keys to the car. So now we've got to go on a journey. And you take this new vibration, you take this new letter, you take this new way that you show up, and you're effectively singing a new song to the universe. You're singing a new song to your audience. You're telling people that you love and care about, could even be your parents who named you, that now suddenly you're going by a different version of your name, or you've taken on a weird letter that does nothing to do with your name, and you're saying, I decided I'm going to spend some time on this new vibration. I've decided I'm going to make a shift or change in direction. Now, this is the reality that we deal with. If I give you a new name, it doesn't put you into a new space. It's not just like helicopter lifting you into a completely different area and you wake up a millionaire. It changes your direction to face millionaire. Right now, or before our time, before our session together, you could have been dealing with a communication error, a self-belief challenge, an I can't do this belief mentality, a limiting belief mindset, a block somewhere, a wealth story. a challenge I'm of not being worth it in the areas of like love, or maybe, you know, you pick your battle. You're like, oh yeah, I've had that. This is what I'm dealing with in my business and da 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 da. And you've been dealing with this so far. When we achieve a different level of perspective, and the first thing we kind of do is we open up what your chart looks like, right? Like we look at what you got, what's not working, what is working, pieces of you. We take a spiritual inventory over all of the pieces that are showing up in your world. Then we decide, let's crank this thing. Let's turn this thing over so that we make a 5, 6, 4, 3-degree shift. It's small. It's either like, let's just change it this way a little bit. Let's just change it this way a little bit. Let's just change it this way a little bit. And let's start moving and cranking the different trajectory of where you're going to be going as time progresses. So in case you are of the people or of those who are like far out, like where's my results? And I'm doing all the manifesting. I'm doing all of the thought work. I'm doing all of this work. I mean, all of this stuff. And I don't see anything happening. My problems are still here. And this is one of those really strong identifying pieces of the puzzle that we really need to pay attention to. And I hope that you're listening from the bottom of your soul when I say this, is that you still got to pay for the bill. You still have to experience what you're going through. You still have, and on top of all of the mountain that we've built around us, the beliefs and the limits and the da-da-da, oh my God, and all of this stuff is towering on top of us. We just put something else on top by saying, let's change your vibe around and let's move you into a new direction. So what happens is your reality is a reflection of the actions that you took, the reality that you're experiencing right now. This one comes straight from Balaj. He showed this to me one time and I was like, dude, you're such a genius, bro. He said that when you have the reality of what you're experiencing, it is a reflection of all of the things that you've done in the past, all of the stuff that you've been doing, everything that you've been up to now has now suddenly turned into what you're experiencing. And yet what you do now is going to inspire what's going to happen in your future. So pay attention to this for a second. There's two pieces here. One is what led you up to now, and the other one is what you do now that isn't going to have a result. It's not going to have you're not going to see any change. You're going to have to recognize that where you are going is reflective of what you want to do now. Serena, what's up? Welcome. Congratulations. Such a huge champion, such a boss, celebrating your massive win. You are such an inspiration to us all. I appreciate you for being here and joining up. My mom is here. Hey, Mom, how's it going? We're going to send you the link right now. It goes, we can use vancouverkangan.com. Okay, so if you want to show them about what the water looks like, you've got that there. Okay, so just wanted to respond about that, make sure that's there. Okay, cool, it's in there. So when you're experiencing what you've been going through, you're going to be faced with this reality that you have to detach from, because part of you wants all this massive level of success and wants to build something and be something amazing and massive in your life. And the other part of you is like weighed down by I'm still have my job to go to. I'm not experiencing the crap I had to go through in my life. There's a challenge that I'm going through inside of like this, and this. And we have to separate the two, because I'm asking you to work your face off, do your daily goals, make sure you're reading your books, make sure you're attending events, make sure you're congratulating people, make sure that you're doing every single thing that you can. Forget what's going to happen. Forget the result you're looking for. Forget the expectation of what this should, like and there's nothing wrong with having a job. There's nothing wrong with do the work, get the result. We've been trained and as a society that says, look, I clocked in, you owe me 8 hours. I've done the work for you. Now give me my paycheck. And this is exactly the mentality that doesn't work. As an entrepreneur, you have to invest in 100,000 things that you're not going to get paid for, so you can get paid for 100,000 things that you don't even do. Like that's the equation. So we're looking at this paradox that we're dealing with, because I'm reading all the books. I'm doing all the meditations. I'm working on my business every single day. We mastermind every single day. We play our mind movie. We're doing this visualization techniques. We're going into this fear of the unknown. We're absolutely taking a look at this. But then we look at this and we're like, shoot, how are we supposed to make ends meet? How are we supposed to get things done? How are we supposed to pay bills on time? How are we supposed to get to our, and we have to separate those two. Because when you do, it takes, first of all, it takes the edge off quite a bit. You're looking at this being like, okay, what I'm experiencing is a reflection of my past. Like, let's just take this on right now. Like, as an affirmation, we're going to open up your mind right now and just be like, and just open up your mind. And I'm going to program something into your brain that you cannot forget. These are magical codes. Okay. What you are experiencing right now is, let's say it in the first person. What I'm experiencing right now is a reflection of my past. So say it with me. What I'm experiencing right now is a reflection of my past. What I am experiencing right now is a reflection of my past. What I am experiencing right now is a reflection of my past, okay? What I am doing right now is going to be a reflection of my future. What I am doing right now is a reflection of my future. What I am doing right now is going to reflect my future. More than just understanding the words, I can't even make an affirmation properly because I'm like changing it every single time I say it. There's two massive concepts here. What you are experiencing is a reflection of what you have been doing, and what you do is a reflection of what you're going to experience in the future. So what you do now is to look at the face of your problems, face it, and look at what your challenge is you're experiencing in your life. And you're just like, look, I get it. I'm late. I can't make this. I'm financially strained. My relationship's not where I want it to be. I'm going through this challenge. I get it. But my future is going to be bright. My future, I've made it. My future, we've built our house. My future, we've done this and that. My future, we've created leaderships inside of our community. We've created an organization of leaders. My future is bright. My future says that I've done it, and I know it because I decide. I'm not hoping and wondering and looking at what am I doing and why is what I'm doing not reflecting what I have. It's because those are two separate conversations, and we have to recognize that. So if it means that you learn how to meditate, if it means that you put on audios inside of your bedroom, that's the stuff that we're doing. If it means that you put sticky notes all over your house that say, I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am successful, we've made it, thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for our house, thank you for traveling, thank you for beautiful children, thank you for creating our vision, thank you for developing our organization, thank you for meaningful partnerships, thank you for absolute wealthy partnerships. We're creating a gratitude for our future before we've actually achieved it. And this is like quantum physics stuff. Lorena, what's up? Boss mode today. Holy smokes. I'm just getting my big gunners coming up. Woohoo! Thanks, big gunners, for showing up today. I appreciate you. So we've got to get into this idea, okay? Your thought is the only thing that you have conscious reality over. And nobody's telling you to breathe. Nobody's telling you to, to eat. Nobody's telling you to digest your food, your kidneys, your liver, your bladder. They're all working without you, so you don't have to think about that stuff. The only thing you have control over is what do I focus on? And there's a bunch of these little cool adages that show up inside of the, personal development world that are like super cliche. And I'm like, we're going to stop that. And because they're not cliche, they're actually, this is quantum physics. What you focus on expands is a really big one of them. Whatever the mind can believe, it can bring itself to believe it can achieve. So within as without, right? So below, above as below, and thoughts become things, the observer effect. Like, these are all lost. And people are like, oh yeah, law of attraction. I'm like, dude, you're manifesting whether you think about it or not. You're meditating whether you think about it or not. You're broadcasting signals whether you're aware of it or not. So when you go out, and I'm not shaming, or I'm not going to tell you who said this stuff to me, because it doesn't even matter, because a lot of people are saying this stuff to me. But you can't be shamed just because you're like, fuck, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I need to make something happen. Like, like, like this, the reality I'm living is not, it's like, it's, and we're focusing on the fact that we're out of power instead of recognizing and giving it the love and space and say, hey, you know what? My BS reality that I'm experiencing right now, it's just a reflection of the stuff that I've done in the future. I've got to pay the bill. I've got to pay the piper. I made a vibration, and now I'm seeing the reverberation of it. I'm seeing the vibration of it. I'm seeing the echo of my one choice. Okay, like if you decide to be late every day, then you're gonna live a life where you're behind time. If you decide to get up every day, and you're like, no, that's it, I'm gonna wake up early in the morning, it's gonna hurt because you're used to waking up late, and your body's gonna be like, well, don't you remember sleeping in though? Like, what happened to that? I was used to you doing something, and now you're like, fling, I'm gonna do something else. Fling, I'm gonna do something else. Fling, I'm gonna do something else. And you have to consistently, every single freaking day, make that new commitment until it's trained like a muscle. And to the point where I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning because I know my alarm's going off in 15 minutes. And I just want to confirm, did I miss it? Did I miss it? And I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's 4:15. Oh, it's 4:30. I still got half an hour left. And I've trained my body to get up before I need to so that I can start getting into gratitude. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God for another day. Thank God for my beautiful wife. Thank God for my wonderful kids. Thank God for my support system, my family. Thank God for my organization, my audience, my business. And I start just drumming off all of these things for my freaking beautiful beard. Thank you so much for my new clothes. Thank you so much for my new car. Thank you so much for this gratitude space I'm creating. Thank you so much for getting up early. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just get into an overload. And so it's like, it kind of like, gets to me when my wife's like, did you do your gratitude this morning? I'm like, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I did. I went back to bed in gratitude. Like I went and I got the thank you for 15 more minutes of sleep. I went back to bed with gratitude on my unloading of stuff that I had to get through. And I wake up in that knee-jerk reaction. And I'll tell you guys something. It was 2010. It was 10 years ago that I decided that I have to love myself because I kept getting cheated on in relationships. I kept getting fired. I couldn't find the love of my life. My dog was going to die soon. Like I was in a negative space in my world. And I was just like, and the girlfriend who kept cheating on me now leaves me. And I'm just like, this sucks. And then I had this dawn moment, and I have to blame my numerology for this, said to myself, I was like, if you don't love you, how the hell are you going to expect anybody to love you? Everybody looking out for love in other wrong places, and they're not looking for love within themselves. They're not creating happiness. They're trying to seek it. That's why there's a pursuit of happiness, because you're never going to find it. You have to make it. And I even posted a picture of this little stick figure with bug eyes. Is like, he has a jar of happiness. And someone's like, where did you find that? And this little face is like, I made it. And that's exactly what we have to recognize, is that it comes from within. So you have to get into that massive level of gratitude state in order to start changing and shifting the paved, weaving pattern of what your world has created for you. You've been doing this. This is like, you've been playing this movie in your life so many times. Now it's created like a river, and the water energy flows where it goes. So the thoughts that you think about, they're over and over and over. And the way you do things, it's a repetitive cycle. We're patterns. We are a rhythm. We do the same things over and over again. So when you decide that you're going to do something else, you got to decide and decide and decide and decide and decide and decide. And you have to write it out everywhere. We wrote it out in crayon on the back of a school notice. I pulled out one of my kids' crayons, and I'm like, inside an adjective, outside an adjective, the people I need to work with. What am I going to do for people in the community? How's this going to work? And I created a mind map of what my business and organization needs to look like. I've been doing this on spreadsheets. I've been doing this on whiteboards. We've been doing this in a journal. We've been doing this in meditation. We've been doing this in mentorship conversations. I'm making a change because I remember the time when I was stuck at a job wondering, how am I going to get promoted? What am I supposed to do to make more money? How do I get the attention of my manager? How do I create more sales? How do I innovate more productivity within my role? And I quickly found the ceiling, the limit to my expression. I couldn't create it because, oh my God, it's so tough to do that. You can't do that within the corporate world. But outside, ain't nobody going to tell you what to do. You can do whatever the hell you want. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you find out what works for you, and you're going to be able to create that for others. So for me, I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm going to make a shift. I'm going to make a change. And sometimes it takes a powerful, negative, emotional experience in order to motivate you and kick your butt in order. So in case your world is falling apart right now, and you're like, dude, I put these letters in my name and nothing's happening. I took your advice and everyone else is having these results. How come I'm not having results? I'm tempted to be like, that's why. You are not racing someone else. You don't know that Balazs put in 5 years of door-to-door. He became a sales director, a regional manager. He tried 3 or 4 different companies. He had a Magic sitting on his counter this entire time. He couldn't sell a machine. One time I saw him posting the history of, the sales he's had was this weird 5-year gap. I'm like, what happened to your business? I wasn't doing it. I sold a bunch of machines up front, but then I lost my wind. I couldn't figure it out. And next thing you know, I just started building other things. And he had to come back around in order to create authority, power, confidence, ability, go through his learning curve before he approached his business with massive levels of power and wealth, coincidentally around the time he took a letter. So then you talk to him and you're like, oh, I took this letter and suddenly things blew up. I'm like, dude, don't say that. Because it's like you did so much more than just take a letter. You grinded so much. Me, on the other hand, was not doing the right thing at all. I was like, screw this. I'm joining a new business. I can't get fired anymore. I take this new letter. Nothing's happening. I'm like, what the hell? This numerology stuff doesn't even work. And then, 3 years later, I look back at my life and I'm like, wow, I put this into the mix. I put that into the mix. I did this. And next thing you know, I don't need a job anymore. Next thing you know, I find the love of my life. Next thing you know, my business takes off. We get pregnant. We travel the world. We get married. We buy a SUV. It's not big enough. We buy another one. We come out with the app. Now I'm on the podcast. Now I've got an audience. I got my own personal group. We've got organization power. We've got people working for us. We've got things in the pipeline. My biggest problem is focusing. I can't even focus. And Sally's problem is I guess it's not a problem, it's her gift, is that she has focus. It's like, we need to have singular focus. And I'm like, I got so many things on the go. My big focus is just throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see what happens, see what sticks, and more action, more power, more ambition, more strength. We have to keep on going. We can't just not. We have to absolutely make sure that no matter what you're doing, you're throwing more gas on the fire, you're throwing more wood on the flame, you're absolutely stoking the flames, and every single day something more gets added to the daily method of operation. Something more becomes out of a more powerful discipline. So please don't give up on yourselves, guys. We're in a long-term game right now. And what we're about to see, for those of you guys watching this, what we're about to see is a transition of energy. So for those of us who are complaining and, challenged, and we're like, why isn't it not working? What the hell is going on? And I just want to, there is a movement that is going to take place. The top leaders that are watching this, or the people that have created success, you guys are watching this, you felt it. I know you felt it. Because you've been setting up your process. You've been setting up your own webinars. You've been putting your team together. You've emancipated away from your team. I'm thinking about Lorena here specifically. She's been creating power inside of what's going to happen next for her group. The vision is strong. And then when you look in front of it, it's relationships are failing. People are falling apart. People you thought were going to do something aren't doing anything. The challenge exists and this break apart stuff. And it's like, that's where we've got to unhit. Some of the really powerful gold is trapped inside of rocks. Some of the most extraordinary diamonds in your life are like hidden underneath boulders that were once safe mountains for you to build a life on, that are no longer serving you because you can't let it go at night. You're like, no, there's success in there. I know there's success in that mountain. Blow the whole thing up. I need to change right now. I need to blow up everything, burn it all. I need to find that thing in there, and I can't find it. So everything is going to break until I get there. And that's a good thing. If you look at it, and you're like, oh my God, the building is coming down, right? And like, you know, demolition, let's demolish a building. And someone paid to demolish a building, okay? If you just saw an explosion and you were like, oh, the building, oh no, ah, and you didn't know that before the explosion was a dilapidated house and this building was falling apart and it was a bad part of the woods, it was a bad part of town, and there was rats in the building, and you know, people were doing bad things in the building, and there was, you know, bad people around the building, and it was lowering the value. And before that, someone looked at this vision and said, we're going to create a center, a community center. We're going to create something very powerful. We have a vision of something amazing right here. And someone's like, dude, that's like a rundown building. He's like, don't worry about the building. We're taking that shit down. We're going to break it. I don't care about the building. What I care about is the future. And if you were to go back that far, you'd be like, yes, let's tear that building down. Because once it's teared down, we are going to have a clean canvas. We're going to have a brand new space. We're going to have a flat surface one more time. And we're going to build our foundation with 2020 energy. We're going to build with the advances in technology. We have grown. And now we have to take apart what was once serving us and what really no longer served us, because we have a vision to create. So just in case you're like, oh my God, I'm getting fired. Oh my God, my bank is calling me, or they're going to take my car away, or whatever, blah, 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 something's happening in your life. And at that one moment, if you just look at that, you're like, this sucks. Why did I take this name? I'm like, whoa. You took a name that was going to now put you into a spaceship, and you still got a mentality that says, I'm driving a car. Of course you're going to get messed up. Of course the thing, you press the button, it's like it's not the same as just turning the pedal and slowly coming out the driveway, check both sides. This is like, yo, you ain't going to check nothing. There's nobody up there. You're going into the unknown. You're going into a new vibrational space that will take you to a completely different place of your world. So you have to recognize that there is a shift that's happening. We need a depth and a scope of vision that pulls us further away than just the explosion breakdown of what's been happening. And I tell you this because next year, 3 weeks from now, there is a flat surface. There is a foundation that needs to be built. And if you've ever tried to build a new building or build a new structure while the old one is still there, it's not going to work. And the frustration is going to become even greater. And it's going to, and now the energy is like pissed off. So, you know, take this from me. We experience retrograde for a reason. We experience all these weird planetary movements and shifts and solar flares and blah. It was like the astrology was like, just drum on the earth really quickly and get planets after planets at the bing and the ding and the nexus and the ascending points and the blah, blah, blah. And all of this stuff was like, we need everyone's help to blow this planet to pieces, because the heart, the vision, the dream, the observation inside of our mind is swirling this vortex around it, and it won't be able to pull a broken planet. A planet that needs to break is still needing to break. The world that you live in needs to crumble so that the pieces can be recycled and put back and form into a new situation, a new place. It's kind of like the bad guy from Terminator. They blow his face off, and then suddenly the thing like comes back into it. It's like, you can't take this down, because there's a vision of how the programming needs to be affected. So, bad example, because I was a bad guy, right? We're talking about your vision, your life, and we need to blow it up so that we can actually build something. And I promise you guys, this is going to be a very big topic for this month. Because I'm already there. Forget that. I was already there like 6 months ago. I was like, 2020. It's going to be big. 2020 is going to be big. And that's what scared me into getting into the gym. That's what scared me into making sure that I had my stuff together. Scared me into putting a calendar together. I put all of my children's events on the calendar beforehand. They send you the year in advance. Back in September, if you guys didn't check it, check your email. They tell you all the cool little professional days and holidays begin and holidays end. I'm like, good. Set up my 2020 for me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to have to know if there's a Pro D day or not. I want to know already 30 minutes before I have to do anything. I live my life 30 minutes at a time. The next thing that's going to happen is going to beep my watch, and that's why I check it sometimes. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I got some place to be right now, and that's like I've been looking at my watch, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. The kid's gonna get picked up soon. I'm like, I don't have to worry about it. My watch will give me a warning because I've set my calendar to take care of these things. I've decluttered some of the stuff that I need. The energy that I need is not going to be spent on must remember this, must remember this, must remember this. I don't want to live like that. I want to set it and leave it. That's what the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. We want to set it up right once for sure. And then I want to step back and watch it grow. Barbara, another really powerful woman, steps onto the left. Thank you so much for all of everything that you've done for me, everything you've done for my family, everything you do for your group. You guys are absolute juggernauts. I would absolutely recommend that any of the top leaders watching this coordinate a group session for their team, because we are going to be building entrepreneurs. We need our engineer mindset and our architect mindset. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. We are going to be building a tower. At a certain point in a construction zone, you got to go up the scaffolding and you got to sit on some beams, and it's going to be 100 floors away from the ground. And there's no safety up there, nothing but the understanding that you walk straight and that you do exactly what you need to do to make sure your business grows. This means that you're not going to look over the edge and be like, whoa, this is really high up here. Of course it is. What did you think you were doing? You are building a tower. You're building a success structure. You're creating something. So I was like, when Masai said, we got to create this mind movie, I'm like, hell yeah, we do. But I'm super motivated to speak to my people right now because I had to. Just had to. With the stuff that people are saying to me, I just want to, I'm gonna call some people out without calling them out. What was this here? It's been a really, really trying time. Is this to be expected of a legal name or a name change? Or how about, let's see here. We were talking about this earlier. Still not out of the woods. I'm feeling super blocked. Trying to honor our agreements. I'm taking, and so we're these types of things are like delicate when you say stuff like that and you're offering space for crappy looking energy that shows up. Please do me a favor and recognize that you're saying it with the intention of understanding it so that you can unload it and that you can break free from it in a huge way, because you're going to build something. And this cannot be this box that's like, I need a box cutter. I need something to open up this challenge. This block has gifts inside of it. So if I'm like, I can't do this, I don't know what's happening, I wish I could just get the right tool to build what I need to build inside of my world. I promise you guys, there is a success on the other end of your frustration. You just have to decide that your vision is worth more than what the frustration is offering you, because it's going to get dark. It's going to be nighttime. Everyone's going to go home. People are going to go to sleep, and you won't be able to because you've got your vision on your mind. And if you look around at all of the things that you can see, it is but a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what the universe has in availability. Even everything that I can see in all of my vision is less than a percentage of a percentage of it's less than such a small 1,000th of a percent of what's available. I don't know what's behind my blind spot. I don't know who's going to come across my ad. I don't know what person's going to be like, I've been praying for you, dude. I don't know what person's going to message me and be like, hey, it's time. I don't know what person's going to grow into a magnificent organization and say, Bobby, we need you to be our one guy. We need you to be the guy who's going to train our mindsets. I don't know. All I know is that it's not up to me. It's not up to me. I don't care if I know or not. All I know is where I'm focusing on. And I'm pointing at that place, on the right outside. We have this mountain in front of us, right, where we have, right? And there's this land that we're going to build a house on. May not be that lot, but it's a pretty funny little joke from the universe to be like, look, bro, see all those houses? You see at the top? There ain't no houses there. There's an empty lot that's just being like, come at me, bro. You want to build? You want an overlooking mountainside view lot that overlooks the water that's on the mountain? That's at the top level of it's right there. Go and get it. And I'm just like, oh, my universe is expanding for me. Now I literally get to observe my dreams. And what? Do I get a chance to see someone else build there? Is my lot, my land somewhere else? I don't know. All I know is that I'm going to build a house. I'm going to build a mansion. It's going to have 8 rooms. It's going to have a dance room. It's going to have an exercise room. It's going to have a pool table. It's going to have a pool. It's going to have a hot tub, 2 hot tubs. It's going to have a sauna. It's going to have a steam room. It's going to have a meditation room. It's going to have a library. It's going to have a his and hers office. It's going to have a playroom for the kids. It's going to have 2 living rooms. It's going to have 3 kitchens. It's going to be a gargantuan mansion that overlooks the water. It's going to be on the side of a mountain. It's going to have a second house that has an Airbnb on it with a cafe on it where my mother-in-law creates her business. We are going to make this, and you guys are invited. And you guys are invited to stay there because we're going to be doing retreats. We're going to be doing events from there. We're going to be helping express people's wealth. Find the voice that's inside of you that says, I am wealthy. It's going to happen. Is it that lot? I'm like looking at it. I'm like, shit, that house is too small. I don't have enough. I need a couple acres. Is there a couple acres? Now my vision is starting to open up a little bit. I'm like, okay. I need some more space. I need a little bit more than just that. Because Sally's like, oh yeah, I want it so that when you drive in, you have to drive in like a driveway that's like the size of a block. I'm like, okay, fine. That's fine. We'll make sure it's in there. You have to drive in, like kind of like a Bruce Wayne Manor kind of feel. Eh? We're gonna have our back cave in there, so it's gonna be a powerful journey that we're on. But I'm not hoping. I'm not wondering if it's gonna happen or not. I'm not guessing and being like, oh man, please and please. It's like, I'm going to get the work done. I'm going to get the work done. I have to see it, and I have to see it every single day, and I have to make sure that my mind is locked, target locked vision on this, because the end of the result is going to be that everything that breaks around me is going to be recirculated, recycled into a component and an ingredient for the vision that I need to have. All of the times that I failed, all of the people that said no to me, all of the times that even my family laughed at me and rolled their eyes at me and blocked me, deleted me, and wrote me off, the times that I got beat up in high school, all of those things, they come back together now because, hey, I get a chance to build my own reality. I'm not going to be someone else's monkey. And if you're a monkey right now, I don't mean to insult or make anyone feel negative about the path that they're inside of their life. I had the monkey suit, okay? Like I was like, powerful tie, pink shirt, let's do this, absolutely ready to go. And I was gonna sell those cars because Mr. Toyota really wanted me to, and Mr. Jimmy Pattison really wanted me to produce for his company so that I could be recognized. And now I recognize myself because I recognize that nobody's going to give you the thing that you truly deserve other than you. So if you're experiencing this challenge and you're like, fuck, I gotta change this stuff, man. Something's gotta go. Something's gotta grow. Something has to change. I'm right there with you. And that's why I'm a reinforcing message. And I was even telling this to Sally. I'm like, the people who watch me, the people who pay attention to me, they are doing so much more than just that. You audience, you people are doing so much more than just watching me being like, yeah, or being like, I don't know about this guy. Wherever your energy is, you're spending your observation. You are lending your magnet to my vision. And for that, I am extraordinarily grateful and overwhelmed with gratitude to think that I have such an audience. I have such a following base. I have people out there who are like, yes, for Bobby and yes, for my life. Because I can't do that alone. There's no way I can do that alone. I never once thought I could. And now that I realize the enormity of that, the feeling of I'm going to create what I have set out to do, the books, the events, the seminars, the retreats, the programs, the courses, the things that we have in the works, the vision I have for the next 20 years, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And this is the voice in the face of someone who's made a decision. And I'm like, steady, bro. You don't see any kind of wavering in that. I'm not like, ooh, it scares me. It scares me. You know what scares me? Not being steady. You know what really scares me? Not having my vision on freaking lockdown. Because I know that what I think about comes into fruition. Everything has so far. And there are some things that are going to take a higher level of focus and a higher level of growing, and they're awaiting the next thing for me. And I've dedicated myself to that. So I remember someone else was telling me this as well too. I really wanted to pull this one out because there was a few in there that this one was and this is like the silver lining, okay? Because there's a storm, right? And there's a rain clouds over us, and we're challenged to find the right path, and we don't know where we're going and how things are going to look, and it's just a challenge just to get by sometimes. And he was apologizing for being negative. I just needed to get it off my chest. I've been holding on to this for a while, and I needed to share this with someone who understands. I was like, my friend, you are more than blessed and welcome to share this with me. And then it's like saying here, I already feel lighter just for having shared these thoughts. So, and this person was like, dude, should I keep my Ukon or not? I'm like, if you can't afford it, you don't really have a choice if you can keep it or not. Like, but this brings us back down to the realization, a single letter shift or a name alignment changes your direction, doesn't change your actual position. Your change in position is directed by how much you move. Your change in direction is an incremental like mindset shift. It's a wholesale change. That's what my dad taught me. Wholesale change. It's not something that just shows up that you suddenly become someone else. You have to be something else and then keep moving. So if you're going through tough times, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Keep moving. Absolutely keep going there. I had to start with the end of this comment because I was like, this sucks. They're reaffirming, okay, I really want to make 2020 a different reality for myself, but it looks like I'm going to have to go back to working for someone else for a little while, which honestly feels terrible. And I remember going to my friend of mine I was like, yeah, JOB, just over broke. And he's like, actually, it's an income source. It's a funding source. It's something that I could do. It's a marketable skill. It's feeding my lifestyle. It's feeding my business. It's feeding my family. It feeds the groundwork of what I need to do so that I have the ability to choose and the ability to option. So if you feel like, oh man, I have to go get a job, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. You're like, what? But I thought we were supposed to be entrepreneurs and we're supposed to be free and this and that. I'm like, yeah. But along the path, you're going to have to find a means to an end. Sometimes when I go to see my parents, every time I go to see my parents, I have to put my car on a boat. I have to put my car on a ferry because I can't drive over the water. There are going to be certain spaces in your life where your vehicle needs to be transported so that it can unload and then you can keep going. So just in case you have this entrepreneur mindset, will you do whatever it takes? Will you do whatever it takes? Will you go and print out 100 resumes and not come home until you have a job? As an entrepreneur, you're like, well, but I'm an entrepreneur. Should I just be selling things? Yeah, what do you have to sell? Well, I got this machine and I can sell this. And can you sell your time? Can you make ends meet? Can you do something now that's going to help you get to the next situation? Because obviously your business, you're not building it. So if you can find something that's going to help you get one step closer, one step sideways, two steps back, it's a maze. It's amazing how people think that you're just supposed to go and Hulk smash through every obstacle in your life. It ain't like that, honey. You sometimes got to take a step sideways. Sometimes you got to take a step back. Sometimes you take a step back and you realize there's another dead end. Then you have to go back again. And you have to go back again with your tail between your legs. Like I had to go back home after trying this company, trying car sales and retail. And I tried corporate world. I tried telecommunications. I did call center. I did retail again. And this time, I'm going to go back to the mall. But this time, instead of going into shoes, I'm going to go into telecom. I'll go into sales. Why not? I like the brand. I like this. I can be creative with my time space of how I go to a job. It was embarrassing because I had to put on a uniform that said Rogers. It was a shitty shirt and it smelled bad when after a shift. And I'm like, oh, now I feel like a dirty Indian. And I was like, no offense to all my Indians out there, but come on, we got, we got a little bit of a ripe smell to us, eh? So there's a value in there that says, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And yet when I stood in there behind the counter, it's like, hey, how's it going? So what's going on? And little old ladies, and they didn't know how to do their emails. And I'm like, you're so cute with your little face webs and your little interwebs and your, like emails and this and that. And let's make sure it's all set up for you. And they were looking for ways to buy extra stuff. Screen protector, extra cases, device protection, get a little extra speaker here and there. I would just be and giving them the total experience. They spent more money than they even came in for. How many times did someone, I didn't even come in for this. I didn't expect I'd leave with a new phone. You didn't even sell me a new phone. You just helped me fix my phone. I thought I needed a new phone. I didn't want one, but I ended up buying all these extra little pieces I didn't even need anyway. I just wanted to give him business because I knew that there was a value and a power inside of what I was doing, even though I didn't want to do it. As soon as I got off my shift, I'd call my dealer and I'd be like, hey bro, I need a bag. And I would be taking drugs home with me to be in a depressive state because I was angry at myself. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was still dealing with my past, even though I knew I had a future ahead of me. I just couldn't see it. So in case you're in that space, in case you're doing everything that you can, and it's still not enough, just be very careful that you don't put these two things together. Your past reflects what you have right now. Your future reflects what you do right now. So in the face of your past, in the face of challenge, adversity, the crap that you have to deal with every single day, put your future actions to the present moment right now. My watch thinks I'm running. Oh, we running, baby. This feeling in there says that your future is determined by the things that you do right now, and the things that you experience right now is determined by what you have been doing. Because I got to that certain point and I'm like, girlfriend broke up with me, my job, I got fired again, stupid bullshit happened at the job site. It was like wrongfully dismissed, all that stuff. I was moving out because I was mad at my parents because they weren't going to let me have my girlfriend over. And I'm like, you won't let me. I'm 31. And I realized how embarrassing that was to have a fight with my mom about her not letting a girl come to the house. And she's like, it's my house. What are you doing here? And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going to move out with my girlfriend. I come clean with my addiction to her. And then she breaks up with me. Same week, I get fired. Next week, I'm leaving my house. And I'm sitting there being like, oh, I got to go through a new place in my world right now. And you know what happens? I tell my parents that I'm on drugs. I tell them about the challenge that I'm going through. And I tell them, this is my line in the sand moment. And they're kind of rolling their eyes. I'm like, you just keep saying that line in the sand shit. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? And I'm just like, it means I made a decision. It means I'm going to be something else. I'm going to do this. And I know, because now everything is falling apart in my life. Everything is getting taken away from me, and I'm still going. And my mom's like, no, you can't move out right now. And my dad's like, get the hell out of here. And I'm like, yeah, see, I'm leaving. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to live like this anymore. And I made that decision, and I crossed over that line, and I started telling people that I was on drugs. I started telling people that I was done with it. I started gaining the support of my family and my friends, and my people that were close to me was like, oh my God, me too. I never told anyone. But because of your confidence, because of your honesty, I feel confident to tell you about what I was dealing with. Almost took my life too. And I'm sitting there being like, what? I'm already healing people. What? We're already healing because we're going through this together. I put my life back together. I started my numerology business. Next thing you know, I meet my Sally. Next thing you know, the rest is history. And here we are now, 2 years later. I'm just sitting at this like, wow, if I got this much done in the last 2 years, what the hell are we going to do in the next 2 years? It's going to be crazy. I'm just like, I'm looking at this now. I'm like, wow, we're in a beautiful time and a beautiful space. And I appreciate all of you guys for being here along for the ride. So don't give up. Please don't give up. Your future's depending on you. And I was telling this to Sally because I was like, who are we targeting? Who are we working on? Who are we going to work with? And it started to lead into the fishtail snake story of all of the crap she's gone through in her life. And at the end of it, I'm like, I forgot what I was even asking you. Cause I was like, all that really comes up to me is that you need some healing and we have to heal your past. So when I'm looking at these two separates, right? Your path, your reality reflects where you've been and your future reflects what you do. What you do is take your gratitude and take your vision for the future, hold hands, and go and walk down memory lane. Go walk down memory lane and take a look at yourself back in the year 2000. Go and take a look at yourself back in 2010. That was 20 years ago. Holy shit. Go take a look at yourself back in 95. And when you went through all of those trauma experiences that you went through, what would that person say? The failure part of you, what would they say if they knew that you were successful, if you made it? If I look back at myself at being 15, being like, I'm probably never going to have sex. I'm like so awkward and lame. Nobody wants to be with me. I feel like such a loser. Like I don't know how I'm ever supposed to, like every 15-year-old, right? Like how am I supposed to get laid in my life, right? And like because my friends, they were already getting action, and I was like, oh, I feel like an idiot. And like, if only then I knew that I would be a global speaker, multiple six-figure earner, have a beautiful family, a gorgeous beard, a gorgeous wife, a life that I love, $100,000 SUV, like a life that I'm like, I spend my time going and pick my kids up and back and forth from school. And it's the biggest commute that I have is down the street. And like, like what would I think if I knew that I would find the happiness that I was supposed to? Would my past not get healed? Would I not look at observe the past that I had and look at that and say, it's okay. You're going to make it. It's okay. You're going to find a community. You're going to find people who are going to help you get through life. It's going to be okay. And that's what I have to say for you guys. Sometimes you got a pretty shitty looking past and it's creeping up on you, clawing at your present moment. Just take your future, take your dream and your vision and say, come with me. We've got to show a part of me in the past that we're going to be okay. And then and it looks like this. You're just sitting there like this, like, we're like this or whatever, like this, or just like this, or just sitting there like in a meditation. And you're playing you're taking the future, you're taking the past, and you're like putting the two together so that the future self hugs the past self, and you reinforce that so that you don't feel like you're a broken, unfolded piece, but that you're a structure coming together. So take your future, connect it to your past, and your present moment is the one that's the mediator that says, look, I've been through some stuff, and I know I'm going into a new direction. Motivation, help my depression. Future version of me, help the past version of me. Let's get this done. Let's work together and create some value. I absolutely want that to be the way. So I just wanted to say that to you guys. I know I'm running out of time. This is a little bit of a different experience than just, doing a go live reading where I'm reading people's birthdays. Today was a bit different. I had to share this motivation I have with you guys because I know that it's not easy for us to go through stuff. I get it. We all have to experience things. And if you are experiencing some challenge in your world, just be blessed that you're still alive. Find and start making a list of the things you're grateful for and start building that vision of your future. And it's okay to be like, I'm not happy where I'm at right now. I'm not in a good place. I don't feel good. I feel miserable. I'm depressed. Go ahead and list out all the negative stuff. It'll make you feel better afterwards, I promise. Because you also have a vision for the future that says, I'm going to feel great. I'm going to make stuff happen. 2020 is my year. I'm going to make this thing happen. And we absolutely need to have that energy and that attitude towards it because 2020 is a big year, people. It is a big year. Good morning, Kate. I'm out of here. All right. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being in my life. You guys have no idea the energy that you spend with me. It helps me evolve the world that I'm in. When I win, you win. When you win, I win. Let's do this together. A couple of cool things are happening really quick. I guess I can't do this without a quick little shout out to my future. Tomorrow, Friday, the women's alignment. We're going to have a numerological alignment specifically dedicated for female energy. That's a huge deal. It's $111 to be there. So just let me know that you're going to be there. If you want to, you can. Just let me know you're in. The wealth alignment's on sale right now. We're doing the parent alignment the week after that. On the weekend, in the week before that, we're doing the ugly Christmas sweater party. I don't want to call it ugly. Let's just call it the Christmas sweater party. Okay, Christmas sweaters aren't exactly like beach fashion, but it's Christmas, so don't call people ugly. Okay, so it's going to be a Christmas sweater party happening at our house. So get on the island, come out and see us. If you want to be here, make a trip out here. We got room for 2 or 3 people, 4 or 5 people. Actually, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can house 6 people in case anybody wants to come over for the weekend and be with us while we're having our Christmas sweater party. Bring your kids, but then in that case, I may be a little bit limited in the space that I have, but we'd love to host you. It's gonna be powerful. The weekend after that, we do the parent alignment. The week after that, it's Christmas. And then after that, we're doing the Numerology Alumni Series 9, end of the year, a powerful message to let go of 2020. I mean, 2019, I'm already 2020 energy. Let go of 2019 and get into 2020. I still have some spots for some group sessions left. So if you're like, dude, we need to get this guy in a group, nominate your leader, message them, let me know, start a group chat. Bobby, I got 6 people. Let's do a group call. I'd love to help you guys out. I'm going to be in the different groups doing stuff for the rest of the year anyway. So I have a couple extra spots open, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some real solid fun. All right, guys, I got to go pick up my kids because they ain't going to pick up themselves. They're too young to walk home, even though they're just down the street. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Once they're a little bit older, they'll walk home. So and I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And Kate, it's a shame you guys are on the other side of the world because I'd love to have you guys there with me. And thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. All right, guys, take care. This is Bobby at Parihar, the Solution Artist, coming to you guys live on a very lovely December morning. Go out there and make some stuff happen. All right, take care.